Welcome to the Titans by Two podcast. I am Austin Nelson with my guy Brett Batchelor. Brett, what's going on, man?
What's going on, buddy? How are you doing?
Doing well. Just getting over this Tennessee flu that we got going on right now, man.
Yeah,
It's gross,
so
but
that's always tough.
always tough. But a lot of good stuff to talk about today. Obviously, the Titans won on Sunday. Well, I'm getting my days mixed up now. Big win against the Baltimore Ravens. It's 3 in a row. Check us out on Twitter as well at Armchair Tighten Up, at Brett Batchelor, and then at I Austin Nelson. Hit our Twitter plugs there. But yeah, Brett, you were there in person. You finally went to a game this year. So how was that like, man?
It was good. It was good. Finally got to get away a little bit from down here. Got some. It was my second game of the year.
Okay.
First one since the Raiders game. So this one was obviously better than last time. Be up there again this weekend. So that'll be nice. It'll be 2 in a row for me to get out of here. But it's good. Titans are playing well right now mostly. They're playing good at home, which is what I really like to see compared to how they played at home 2 years ago. So, just getting back, being comfortable into the winning feeling and knowing that it's a tough place to play for other teams is what you want as a team. And I think that's where the Titans are headed.
No, absolutely. Coming into this game, we all knew it was big to win at home, and not only win at home, but just what was on the line. Just the Ravens here, another big time AFC opponent. It would make 3 in a row. You were tied with Jacksonville for first in the AFC South. So to keep up and to stay in first, you have to keep winning, and that's exactly what the Titans did. They played well throughout the entire game. There wasn't. It was a great first quarter. They came out and kind of got it. I mean, like they made a statement in the first quarter saying, "Hey, we're gonna play with you guys today and whatnot." So it was fun. It was fun to be there. Like I was there too. Which, like you said, we got to do it again this weekend.
Especially you said coming out making a statement. The very first play was that little 18, 20-yard kind of drop pass over the corner to Rashard. And I probably not really what everybody expected for the first play of the game. So coming out and immediately moving ball down the field definitely put a mark on what the game was going to be like. And like you said, kind of controlled the whole game. Despite Baltimore having more yards and more time of possession, it never felt like Baltimore was going to take over the game. The Titans just kind of controlled it the whole time, and they never trailed either. So
no, you're right. And it felt like we had the game the entire time, but the Titans, as always, get complacent, and you'll see scoring drive, and then maybe a field goal, then another scoring drive, and then they stall. It's like the gas is no longer there, and they just get complacent, and it's punt after punt, and you saw that in the third quarter and most of the fourth quarter. So, Robisky, Malarkey, the offense has to get together and be better at that because there's no point in stopping. You got to keep scoring. So,
well, exactly, and we talk about this from week to week. The rushing game is still struggling, honestly, because Derek was the lead rusher with, oh man, I think it was like 20-something yards, and then
I think we had 71 total yards the whole game
as a team. Yeah, 71 as a team, but 71 of those team yards came from one run of 20 yards by Adoree Jackson.
Adoree, yeah.
So the rest of the team was not, and DeMarco had 9 carries for 19 yards. So nobody got it going. Really, the only person that got it going on rushing was Adoree on his one play, which was awesome, by the way.
Let's talk about that, real quick. I mean, we all kind of like stood up in our section. We saw Adoree get in the game. We're like, what's about to happen? And I mean, it was awesome. I liked the delayed snap, the delay carry, excuse me. And Adoree just took off to the middle. I mean, we talked about this. We obviously want to see more Adoree on offense. We finally got to see it, and then when it happened, it worked. So I was a huge fan of it. Maybe use him more maybe in the passing game because he has hands, obviously. But I love the call.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. And Malarkey said, too, that he could have gone for even more had he not slightly bobbled the handoff. So, I thought it was going to be really good overall because I didn't know if he was going to come back in the game. But then giving him the ball right there kind of early on in the game also put another mark on the game of, look, okay, Baltimore doesn't know who's going to – because then you have, that gives the Titans 5 different people that they could run the ball with, maybe 6 because you see them running with DeMarco, with Derek, with Marcus, with Taywan, with Adoree, and a couple times they get out of the backfield to Delaney. So that's 6 different guys this year that I can think of off the top of my head that the Titans have the ability, whether we like it or not, going to Delaney, handing it off, that they have the ability to hand the ball off to and get more rushing yards off the play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand either. What's going down here with the rushing game? Obviously, the Titans have been known for the past 2 years now that the rushing game is the core of the team and whatnot, and it's almost like they're going away from it. They're not pounding the rock as like they used to be. Um, I almost want to excuse me put this on DeMarco. I mean, we've talked about it for so long how DeMarco has been struggling. Um, I mean, I'm even sitting DeMarco in fantasy now. Like he's just bringing nothing to the table for me.
Yeah.
And you can't put Derek in there because you don't know if it's touchdown or bust with Derek. He's not, he's not the guy to give you 18 carries for 150 yards. That's not who he is yet. So something's got to be fixed, obviously. Well, I mean, and now with Corey Davis being back, it helps the passing game a lot more. And Corey was fun to watch on Sunday.
Corey was fun, especially with that toe drag on the sideline.
Yeah, he even got on Nate Burleson's, what's the
Yep.
toe drag swag? That's what it is.
Yep.
On NFL Network. So that was fun to watch too. But obviously, it was great to have him back healthy. I think Malarkey said he played more snaps than expected, which is awesome to hear. So maybe increase his workload more, have more plays for Corey. We still want to see the deep threat, the long pass to him. So that's going to come here soon. Just not know when.
We talked about, or you hit on it, about the offense struggling and stalling throughout the first or the third quarters after great first and second quarters. And somebody that I've been huge on all season, he did it yet again. You go to the punts, the MVP of the team so far this year, Brett Kern, the man, doing it again.
He may get All-Pro this year.
He should. And as Pat McAfee said this week, Kern, on one of Kern's first punts of the game from my side of the field, which is more towards the south side, kicking north, it went up there to the end zone and it hit it like the 4 and went straight up in the air and then just stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And then after he did that, Pat McAfee went out and put it on Twitter and said maybe one of the most underrated NFL punters of all time.
Yeah.
Now, that's not what I'm saying, but it's good to see that other people understand how good he is too. Right. And like I said, we're talking about him. He went 5 more punts this week for a total of 256 yards, with 3 of those 5 punts being stopped inside the 20. So, I mean, seriously, right now, Brett Kern is the man.
It's not too often. It's not to interrupt you, but it's not too often that you'll see a Brett Kern punt go as a touchback. Like he's going to get it inside the numbers. Yeah, we're very lucky to have Brett Kern for sure, and Suckup is that. Still kind of scratching my head at how he missed the extra point on Sunday. That was kind of random, but it is what it is.
It looked like a heavy pressure from from the outsides coming from his left side, which would be his backside when he's kicking, but that's just an observation. I don't know if that's what it was, but that's just kind of what it seemed like.
Yeah. I mean, anything else you noticed on Sunday that you liked or didn't like?
Me personally, I've hit on this so many times. Marcus only threw the football 28 times.
Mm-hmm.
And I've talked about it on all of our podcasts, most likely. I like it better when Marcus throws the ball less and the team runs the ball more. Now, I know the team only ran for 71 yards, but Marcus was 19 for 28 for 218 yards and 2 touchdowns, and one horrendous interception that I don't know why he threw.
Yeah.
But it just seems like when they control his pass count, he is way more consistent than when he throws for 35, 40 times per game. That's just what I've seen over the years of Marcus being here. That's one thing that I did like was the consistency that he threw the ball on Sunday.
We got to talk about his interception too, which was coming to my side of the end zone, which was hideous. I don't know what he saw there, why he threw that ball, but as soon as he threw it, I could see that just the angle said that's a pick.
Yep.
And Eric Weddle got it. So I don't understand what he saw, why he threw it.
On 3rd and 3 too.
Again, I talk about it every week on Twitter. The play calling, it's ridiculous. Some of the stuff that we run, even on the Decker touchdown, I hated that play. That was awful. We got lucky to have Decker there on the other side of the field. And Marcus finally saw him. And if you saw too, I watched it a few more times on that play. If Marcus would have waited maybe another 2 seconds, he looks up. Corey Davis is wide open there too, right in front of him. So that was another option that I guess he just missed. He probably saw it back on tape. But Corey was there right too. And I remember Malarkey said that the play was actually for Jonnu. And I mean, they covered Jonnu tremendously well.
There's no way that ball was going to Jonnu on that play.
Never was going to go to Jonnu. So Heads up play by Marcus though to find Decker, and that sealed the win for us. Obviously, we need to hit on this though, how well this defense is playing.
Oh my gosh.
In particular, Wesley Woodyard.
Yep.
In particular, the GOAT Kevin Byard.
The man.
So yeah, KB man is lighting it up right now. I mean, obviously we're not going to expect him to get a pick every game, but it almost feels that way now, right?
Yeah, oh my gosh, 5 and 7 quarters.
Yeah, I mean this defense is playing tremendously well, keeping us in games, keeping the offense back on the field all the time now. So when that happens, the offense just has to capitalize. I mean, there's some stuff the Titans need to fix, obviously, but on a 3-game winning streak, first in the AFC South, you can't ask for much more right now, halfway through the season.
No, not at all. And like you said, with Wesley and KB, Wesley had he had 14 solo tackles, and I think he added like another 6 or 7 assisted tackles, something like that.
The stat that Jim White put out, shout out to Jimmy. He had 20 tackles in a game. That's the first time ever in Titans franchise history. More than it was in 19 with Keith Bullock back in the day. So that's saying a lot with 20 tackles in the game because we've never had that ever.
No.
And to come with Wesley Woodyard, that's huge. I mean that man still has it.
And going back to the defense, well, how about for the first time this year we heard Carl Klug's name a couple of times in the game, which was nice to see because I think people like Klug, and you heard the Klug chants. Yeah, exactly. Ran out to the stadium this week. Is that it seemed that Adoree Jackson was targeted a lot more than what he usually is. Now, I'm not saying that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's a good thing that whoever he was covering at the time didn't go for hundreds of yards in the game. He still played well on defense, along with KB and Woodyard and Klug and the rest of everybody else.
To hit on that point, Adoree, I remember seeing a stat from PFF on Twitter that out of all the rookie quarterbacks, Adoree has given up a lot of balls, meaning that the balls that would come to his way were completed. And I think Marshawn Lattimore was leading that. He's had the least amount of balls completed to his side. So I think teams see that. Obviously, they're watching tape on Adoree and see that, hey, this is a nice matchup for us. Let's throw to his side. And he's getting better at it. Obviously, you saw some more passes deflected for him, pass breakups. But as well, I noticed a lot, too, by him in particular. His tackling is phenomenal now. We didn't miss a lot of tackles on Sunday. We missed a few.
First time in a while.
The Titans did well defending, everything, and not giving up the big plays, more yards than needed. So, I watched Adoree a lot. He was wrapping up and whatnot. So that was nice to see from him.
Yeah, it was good to see. And you were talking about the pass breakups that he had. How about the way that Logan Ryan read that play on Byard's first pick and broke that pass up way down the field? Because when Flacco first threw the ball, one of the first things that came out of my mouth was, oh, no, because I saw KB back there, but I just saw the receiver. I didn't see Logan at first, and then I saw Logan come out of nowhere. It broke off of his receiver and came and deflected this pass, which was just an unbelievable play. But I think that's underrated about how well Logan created that play to make it an interception for Byard.
And I think, too, on that play, too, that KB was not even supposed to be back there. He was actually in the box and just flew back there. I mean, that's what he does. He's a center fielder. So he flew back there and got lucky with the picks. I mean, without him being there, that was an incomplete pass. So it turned out in our favor.
And the way his second interception, too, was a heck of an interception because he had to go up in the air, kind of behind his helmet, and then bring it back down. So he's just a ball hawk. And the way he's playing right now is so good, and obviously we hope to see it continue on.
Absolutely. Again, follow us on Twitter at @OnTheTightenUp. All right, so this week we got the Cincinnati Bengals coming to town. A few notes from the top of my head off the Bengals. I don't have any stats in front of me, but I do know they're last in the league in offense. Yep. That's something big. Okay, so you can't have one of these trap games, and I'm going to call it a trap game because they are last in the league in offense, where Joe Mixon goes off for 100 yards, or AJ Green comes off a awful week like last week, like he had, and then bounces back for 150. That can't happen this week. To keep control and keep pace with the Jags now, because you're not a game up on them. You can't. There's no time to wait around and stop. You have to keep the pedal to the metal and keep going. This is one of those games where you just have to beat the Bengals bad.
Yeah, I agree, and you're exactly right. 32nd in the league in total offense, 28th in passing offense, 32nd in rushing offense. So anything that they're doing offensively right now is not good at all. And we saw at the beginning of the year they fired their offensive coordinator at the beginning of the year, and since then, I mean, it's maybe gotten a little bit better. But off the top of my head, the most points I've seen them score this week or this year was 31 against the Browns. So they might have scored more, but being last in the offense, I don't see them having scored more throughout this rest of the season. So exactly, the defense and the Titans defense has stepped up. The Titans are now 14th in total defense, 17th in pass defense, and 10th in rush defense. So
Yeah.
with the defense stepping up and playing much better now against a much horrible offense, like you said, this can't allow this to be a trap game.
No, and to the Bengals point, they have some weapons on offense too. I don't know if John Ross is playing. I know he's been banged up this year, but if he is, that's another dynamic that you have to watch out for. I'm sure Bryce McCain will cover him, and Bryce McCain probably will not be able to keep up with John Ross.
No.
So it's going to be interesting to see who lines up with AJ Green first. I'm assuming it's going to be Logan Ryan, and then you got John Ross, and then I believe Tyler Croft is their tight end. I picked him up in fantasy week because I was desperate for somebody. So yeah, I mean, you got Gio Bernard, you got Joe Mixon, you got Jeremy Hill. I mean, that's a three-headed monster right there, running back. So as soon as one goes out, another comes in. It's kind of like us, with Derek going out and DeMarco coming in. It's that kind of thing. So you have to watch out for everybody. They have weapons. They're just not putting it together, and I blame that on the quarterback. Andy Dalton is not, a top-tier quarterback. Andy Dalton's not nothing to be, scared of. He used to be. They used to be a very good team. The Bengals used to be fun to watch. But now I don't know what's happened. But this is a very beatable team. And the Titans can come in here and make another statement on Sunday and finally put them on the map with 5-3. Yeah, that looks good. You beat the Bengals in a satisfying way. You're 6-3. Now you're going to get some national attention. Say, all right, the Titans are the real deal. And it'd be nice too if the Chargers could pull out a win this week against the Jags. That'd be really sweet. And I picked that in the armchair pick'em. So we'll see if that actually pans out. What are your thoughts? I mean, we're going to see a Bengals defense who's not bad. I mean, it's a decent defense, solid cornerbacks. You got to always watch out for Burfitt, Vontaze Burfitt at the linebacker position.
Never know what kind of stunt he might pull either.
Exactly. Who knows? Oh, and that's gonna be fun. Let him pull something, and then watch Taylor Lewan.
Watch Taylor Lewan go after him. Oh my gosh.
Go at it. Yeah, that's gonna be funny to watch. That actually happened. That's Brett's hot take this week. Pac-Man Jones finally comes back to Nashville for the first time.
Back to town for Pac-Man.
Pac-Man Jones is coming back. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on the Bengals defense against the Titans offense?
Quick stats real quick, so I had it written down. The Bengals are 6th in total defense, which is better than what I thought. However, they're 4th in pass defense, but they're 19th in rush defense. So that's their weakest right there, is being 19th in rush defense. And you compare that to the Titans, you're currently 25th in total offense, 27th in pass offense, which might come from not throwing the ball a whole lot, and still 13th in rush offense. So that's still the better side of the Titans offense.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to see the Titans just rushing extremely well right now with the way it's been the whole season. Mm-hmm. So, man, I don't know.
No,
I definitely think.
This is one of those games that with those stats that you're saying right now, if Marcus has not played well this year, Brett. We keep saying this. Brett, without him, we're not going to win. But with him, he's got to play well. I think he's got 6 touchdowns on 5 interceptions. Those are awful stats. You should have those stats through like 4 games. Yeah. He's got those through 8. So he's got to step it up too if this team wants to go anywhere. I think how many touchdowns does Carson Wentz have right now? I think he leads the league.
He's got a lot.
A lot. I mean, he's nowhere close to Carson Wentz. And this guy's a second-year quarterback. I mean, playing out of his mind, an MVP right now. So Marcus has to step it up. And, we still have not seen one of those games from Marcus Mariota. That's kind of not the quarterback he is yet to go out consistently and put up 300 yards, 350 yards. It's not him yet because it's not the offense the Titans run. So to that point, if the Bengals have a 19th ranked rushing defense, this is one of those games where we finally figure out how to run the ball. And it starts up front with the O-line. I'm not sure if it's not worked out well with Spain's out. and Schwenke in. We can't do the things that we can do on offense because Schwenke's in there. But I don't see why not. Schwenke's a very versatile lineman as well. So I want to see finally DeMarco Murray get back on track like we saw in the Seattle game. See a Derrick Henry kind of Colts game. But something's got to snap on offense, okay? We got to see a hot hand. Something's got to fit. I mean, Delanie Walker, too. Delaney's been kind of MIA all year.
Yeah, he has been. But I don't know if that's Robisky and Malarkey taking him out and trying to use all the assets, but Delaney is such a key piece that you have to use him as much as you can. And honestly, that's what I had written down for my clap of the week this week was Delaney. Yeah. Honestly, because – and it's not often so far that we've been able to say this season, but Delaney – we didn't even know if Delaney was going to play this week.
Right.
And he played on one leg and still had 5 receptions for 71 yards. A couple balls down the seam, going through defenders. It was one. He played so well, and it was such good – I don't even know. It was just so good to see him incorporated in the offense and helping the team move the ball down the field. So, I'll give him a quick clap real quick. But, Delaney, man, it was so good to see him playing well.
Yeah, no, you're right. He made some big catches. Some key third down catches, tough down the middle of the field grabs. So
which is what he's good at, though, too, is those catches down the seam.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that. I guess my clap of the week would obviously be KB. Byard, those 2 picks, and a very, very, very key pick to start the second half. What a heads-up play by him. And I think teams now are going to have to watch out for Kevin Byard. You can't throw the ball over the top. He's going to be there to catch it. And he covered a great. I forget was he covering the tight end on that Flacco pass?
I'm not sure.
I believe it was. He was covering the tight end on the Flacco pass to start the second half. So he's very versatile. KB can cover anybody on the field. So that's my clap of the week for sure.
There you go. One thing you're talking about this not needing to be a trap game this week is the Bengals are 3-5 so far this season, but 2 of their 3 wins have come against the Colts, who are I think 2-7 now. Or 2-6, not good at all. The Browns, who are still winless as well. So 2 of their 3 wins have come against absolutely horrible teams.
Yeah. And on top of that too, Brett, you got to kind of think ahead too. If for the Thursday night game, against the Steelers, and I don't know if anybody read the tweet, but I'll be there at the game, so I'll make sure to tweet it out, tweet a lot of pictures in Steelers country. That should be very exciting.
Very hostile there.
Very hostile. It's gonna be a very hostile environment. And especially they probably don't expect too many Titans fans to travel, so. I'll make sure I'll.
Well, you can pull a Javon Curse back in 2008 and start stomping on their towel.
Yeah, they would love that, and it's funny, man. The last time they were here, and I'll kind of speak to that real quick. A side story. Back in 2008, there's a towel that I have that I bought for that game, and I was probably that was 2008. I was probably like 14, 13 then. So it's been a long time. And there's like the vendors. Because around that time, there's vendors everywhere trying to, pass out stuff. They made, towels and flags and shirts and whatnot. And I bought a towel that said kind of like the official Myron Cope Pittsburgh Steelers terrible towel. Mine says the official Pittsburgh sucks towel. And I've had it forever. And I'll tweet a picture of it out. But I'm going to bring that Thursday and wave it around and kind of make some jokes about that. So that should be fun.
You better be careful. You're not going to get a little push and shove there now.
I got some people coming with me, so we'll be okay.
There you go.
But, just to beat the Bengals, you got to beat them first. And then kind of looking ahead, like I said, to be on the national stage finally, you have to win. You got to keep winning. You can't lose, win 3, lose 1, and then you can't go to Pittsburgh and lose that one too. Then you're back in the hole. Continue to win. Continue to play big in big games, and the rest is going to work out for itself. So if the Titans can beat the Bengals on Sunday, which I would assume they will, they'll find a way to get it done because the Titans are better than the Bengals. Looking ahead, that Steelers game could, not only is big for Thursday night, but even like in the playoff scenario down the road. Maybe play them in the playoffs down the road if that happened, but we'll see.
A win this week would put the Titans to 6-3, 4 wins in a row, and moved to 4-1 at home on the season.
That's crazy.
Now, I'm not saying that this is like a
and on top of that, real quick, Brett 3-0 against the AFC North. Go ahead.
Exactly. So I'm not saying that this is a playoff implicator and stuff like that, but this game, I know that it's not being viewed as a massive game because it's not a big division game against the Jags, or we're not playing the Patriots, but this game has some big implications on it. Because if the Titans were for some reason to lose this week, and then say they lose in Pittsburgh, that would be 2 losses in a row, and they move to 5-5. 3 or 6-4, it'd say just, man, if the Titans can win this week and they win next week and they were to move to 7-3 with 5 wins in a row, or if they were to win this week and then say lose in Pittsburgh and still be 6-4, that's still so much better than 5-5. It's ridiculous how much better that is. And to move to 4, if the Titans can get it done this week and move to 4-1, and like Malarkey said, teams are finding out that this is a hard place to play. Like back in the early 2000s when the Titans went like 2 straight seasons without losing at home, it can create such a loud and hostile environment for other teams to come into Nashville again.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you. It's gonna be fun Sunday. The Titans they got to keep it going, keep it rolling. This is the heart of their schedule right now. These are those games back at the start of the year we talked about. Like, this is an easy W. This is a W. They got to win these games. They're playing a very good division right now in the AFC North, a very notorious division for physical, tough football, for getting to the playoffs. So we're not playing any, scrubs right now. These are very good teams we're playing. So I expect the Titans to win. I'm going to go ahead and give you my bold prediction, and that's a Corey Davis first touchdown of his career.
Ooh, I like that. Over Pac-Man?
Over Pac-Man, absolutely. He's faster Pac-Man. Yeah.
I like that. One of my memories of Pac-Man is the 2006 game against the Giants when the Titans were down 21-0 to start the fourth, and Pac-Man just balled out in the fourth quarter and helped the Titans come back to win. Man, that was so good.
I believe I could be wrong here, but my story on Pac-Man, I was at a Titans-Texans game, maybe 07, 06, and it was a home game, and it was very rainy, very nasty outside, and in our seats, I guess the kind of stadium was starting to leave. I don't know why, but it wasn't a lot of people there. So I go down, maybe 2 rows up from like the field. So I'm super close. Pac-Man has a punt return and just takes it back to the house, and that place goes crazy. So I'll never forget that. But that's my
that Giants game that I was talking about. We had my family and I for that game had on-field passes pregame. Okay. So you can go down there and stand. When the players leave the tunnel, you see the fans standing there. And I saw Pac-Man walk out of the tunnel, and just the way he looked, it was like if you're on his good side, then he's going to be real cool with you. But if you're not on his good side, then don't even bother talking to him because he's not going to want to mess with you. So he's such an up and down, emotional person that you really never know what you're going to get out of him.
Absolutely. All right, give me your hot take real quick before we go.
Hot take of the week. I had something else written down, but I switched it now. I'm going to say that Burfict and Lawan get into it a little bit. I'm going to say that this week there are at least – and it's a hot take for a reason. So I'm going to say this week there are at least 4 either personal foul or unsportsmanlike penalties between the 2 teams.
That's a huge hot take because you don't see that too often. So things will get chippy in Nashville is what you're saying.
Exactly.
I like it. Okay, that's a good one. All right, for Titans by 2 again, follow us on Twitter. At Armchair Tighten Up, man. We're putting some good stuff out there on Twitter. Hopefully you guys like it. Let us know how we're doing as well. Give us some feedback. For Titans by 2, that's my man Brett Batchelor. I'm Austin Nelson. Tighten up.
Tighten up.